Salutations, listeners. This is Donut Like Donut Read. I am Adam at your spooky service. And with me today we have Clemens.
Actually, this is the ghost of Clemens.
Rest in peace, Clemens. Joaquin.
And this is actually Joaquin, but I'm just stuck in purgatory at the moment.
And John.
Holy fuck! I managed to escape the clone facility that they put me in. It was crazy in there. Normies.
So this is actually John's clone, we're pretty sure.
No. You don't understand. The me until now is a clone. I don't know what the hell happened there.
Sure. But yeah, today is another episode of Beyond Disbelief. Somebody explain this.
Yeah, we have 4 creepypastas. 3 are written by actual authors, and 1 is written by a hack known as Adam. And we are to determine which one is a real bad creepypasta and which is the fake one planted by Adam.
Otherwise known as hack.
And viewers, play along. Decide which 3 of these stories are real and which one was written by me. Hackdom, yeah. For legitimacy purposes, I picked... The 4 fandoms represented here are franchises that I have some level of nostalgia or love for, so I figure, that covers a wide variety of things. So we're going to start today with Fallout 3 Citadel Crucified Knights.
Oh.
And the author of this story is unknown. You get a lot of these on Trollpasta Wiki.
Well, I know one person's gonna love
it. And those of you who hang out with us on the main Discord, you know I love the Fallout games, and I've been playing Fallout 3 and other games like that, so this hits really close to home. Take it away.
Most people know the glitch to access the Citadel early in the game, but I found something rather intriguing this time. I've always had experiences, odd happenings while activating this glitch, but nothing like this.
Activating the glitch? I don't think glitches activate. I think they just happen.
I mean, certain glitches you have to put in certain inputs to, I guess.
Yeah, those are called cheat codes.
Or, I don't know, like an Easter egg or whatever. I don't know. As usual, I went to the top of the rubble pile. I fell through and made my trek through the empty space to the Citadel entrance to get into the building.
I looted all of the vendors while I was there.
Of course.
What else are you going to do when you're cheating, when you're walking outside of space,
Also, Bethesda, stop putting your literal chests in below the vendors. You can just have an imaginary inventory and then generate the items somewhere else, man.
No, man, that's too hard. You just gotta keep it simple, when you're creating a vast world of Fallout and such, and Skyrim. I know Skyrim does that too.
Yeah, even Starfield, they do love their vendor chests outside of the bounds.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed from a distance 3 large three large poles sticking up from the ground, but couldn't see them well enough until I got closer. I got closer to find 3 crosses.
How do you mistake a cross for a pole?
Yeah, I think from a far enough distance, you'd see just a sort of like a polygon, the sort of like distance where it's like the shape creates an illusion of like a shape in your mind,
Yeah, I just feel like a cross has that, at least, the horizontal piece kind of sticks out, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it would have... Yeah, but pole would be the last thing in my mind.
If you ever played Fallout New Vegas, you'll know what I'm talking about. They were similar to the crosses used by Caesar's Legion, but clearly the work of raiders instead of a more organized group like the Legion. The crosses were covered in gore and blood, organs hanging all over them.
They were hyper-realistic.
Oh God, I gotta speak that for a second.
I like how the organs weren't hanging out of them, they were hanging on them. They just took someone else's organs and put them on the characters in question.
There were 3 people crucified. Is this, do you pronounce it Leons or Lions?
Lions. It's
Okay.
Lions.
Elder Lyons, Star Paladin Cross, and Sarah Lyons.
That second
They were
name is very ironic.
What's ironic?
Cross.
Yeah, I don't... you're right.
I'm sorry, Joaquin. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, that's cool. They were still alive, but barely. I first talked to Sarah. I wrote down what she said. Anyone want to be Sarah?
We were just saying you could read the whole story if you want.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because most of these characters don't have a whole lot of lines in all across these stories.
Okay. What the hell have you done? You brought them right to us. It was a slaughter. The knights, the scribes, the initiates, all dead. You son of a bitch. Then she coughed up some blood and died. Oh, it was a she. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, they said Sarah. They said Sarah. You talked to Sarah Lyon
thought
first.
For some reason I assumed that the character was gonna go to Elder first, since they.
Yeah, I mean, but.
Eh.
The voice that was intended for Elder is now Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah really took after her father's really deep and masculine voice.
And then I went to Star Paladin Cross.
This is a woman, just so you know, Joaquin.
Okay. I can't believe you. Working with raiders? Why? We were going to fix the wasteland. Don't you remember what your father did for you? He was trying to help you. Help us. And you do this? Say goodbye to any hopes of civilization in this hell. She did the same animation as Sarah and died.
The coughing.
Good.
The coughing out blood.
Yeah. Honestly, Star Paladin Cross really annoyed me in the games because she knew the character's father, like, many, many years ago, but then in the end of the game, she's perfectly fine with sending the 19-year-old person to go kill themselves to start the purifier. I'm like, that seems kind of messed up. Like, oh, I knew your father, he was a great man, now go kill yourself.
Like, honestly...
So I don't have much sympathy for her.
That ending was stupid. Why introduce us a being that's immune to radiation and not let them do the thing? I mean...
Because they were trying to tell, like, symbolism and story of, like, you know, sacrifice and everything like that. But again, that's why they got retcon, because it does not work when you have super mutants and ghouls and robots who can do it for you with no harm.
I know, right?
Them.
It's like this one character in Inuyasha. They have like a wind tunnel, which is like a hole that opens up into a weird little pocket dimension that sucks things in. But then like they gotta think of all these reasons why it doesn't work. It's like the wind tunnel is allergic to bees.
Yeah. It just really was bad writing. That's why it was good that Broken Steel fixed that, where you can have the clever endings of you send in one of your followers to go do with the ones who are immune to radiation. Because it's just, yeah. I mean, she's not immune to radiation, I just have issues with her for other reasons. So, keep going.
Finally, I went to Lions. This was the worst. James loved you. He abandoned all his work for you. He took you to the vault because you would be safer. I guess you didn't realize that in the end. The wasteland was the one made safer with you in the vault. There's nothing stopping the raiders from destroying the entire capital wasteland now. I hope you're happy.
Love that.
I hope
delivery.
you're happy. Look at him. He's wicked.
Instead of the death animation of the other two, his head exploded. It cut back to first person where 3 raiders attacked. Their health wouldn't go down. And the just fired away at my body, blowing away my limbs. A cutscene followed. It showed raiders breaking into Megaton first, with shots of the sheriff, how do you pronounce Moira?
That's Moira.
Okay. Moira, Walter, Billy, Jericho, and Moriarty being slaughtered by an aerial view of the town blowing up. Then it showed Tenpenny Tower. Raiders charged the doors, ran in, and a violent scene ensued of all the residents being hacked to pieces with Chinese swords.
Specifically Chinese. Like, we don't have katanas in this universe, thank God.
What do you mean by Chinese swords? Made in China? Like...
There was a weapon called the Chinese officer sword in the games. And also there's a big thing in the games where before the war was happening, it was like us versus China. And a lot of the officers just had swords because it was cool, I guess.
Big Town was flooded with raiders. The buildings were on fire and the women were being arranged. Underworld was cleared out with the flamethrowers.
Wait, what's Underworld in this context?
Underworld was it was one of the cities where the ghouls hung out. They hung out in like the old Natural History Museum.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, gotcha. All right.
Rivet City was crawling with raiders swimming up to the hole and climbing over the edges, cutting everyone apart and shooting their dead bodies.
They were shooting them after they were dead.
Yeah, I don't think
ammo.
these raiders are very smart.
It's the old double tap. You gotta do that to make sure they don't come back as zombies.
I mean, it's the Fallout universe. Anything can happen. I mean, aliens canonically exist here.
Yeah, also there's like eldritch horrors that vaguely exist in the games, so...
You just gotta prepare them. You gotta make sure.
Yeah, just make sure they don't come back. Shoot them.
Everything is up for grabs here.
Yeah, Benny would have killed the courier if he had made sure he was dead by shooting his dead body over and over again, so...
It faded to black. The narrator's voice came across saying the old phrase, War never changes. It took me back to the main menu. When I went to load my game, it started back over at the birth scene. The Vault Dweller was being born, but the conversation was slightly different. Instead of James asking whether it was a boy or a girl, this conversation occurred. Kill it.
Slightly different.
Not 1, not 3.
This is slightly different.
What? What the hell is wrong with you, James? I said kill it. It's gonna be the death of us all. Get James out of here. James then grabs a scalpel and stabs the baby to death. The screen slowly going dark.
Stop, don't come back.
I turned the game off and again, but all my saves were gone. It played normally after that. I have no idea what it was that triggered this, but it was terrifying to say the least.
Yeah, what a garbage ending. Like nothing else happened. Nothing bad happened other than just that one save.
It was one of those like developer things that the developers put in when you cheat in the game and they end up like screwing you over because you were cheating or because you pirated the game. It just gives like a bullshit death scene like that.
Stanley, we need to I'm having a talk with you in the serious room. I will say though, it was realistic where it's like I think I had a point back when they were talking. It's like why no one else would be reacting to the conversations like in the 3 cross room. Then I'm like, oh yeah, it's a Fallout game. Well, of course, it's glitchy as heck. Which is why I'm surprised he didn't try glitching his way out of this situation again. You know, try I don't know, running maybe.
Yeah, this is one of those scenes where it takes your agency away and you just die. Alright. This next one is Full House episode. Question mark?
Who would write a...
By an unknown author.
Who is A, still a fan of Full House in this day and age, and B, wanted to write something about Full House?
I am John. I have a lot of nostalgia for Full House. I'm not even shitting you. I love Full House. Whatever happened to predictability, John?
You know what? Fair point. Considering these last few years.
Yeah,
maybe
the Milkman, the Paperboy, evening TV. Like, this is what our lives are missing. This is why the world's going to shit. We don't have enough Danny Tanner and friends going through wacky shenanigans.
On the other hand, this author didn't care so much that he doesn't even know which episode number would be appropriate for his fake episode.
Yeah. And this was, I do love Full House. I thought the remake on Netflix was bad, but it was also an enjoyable kind of bad, so I was okay with it. I didn't have really high expectations. So let's go. To start off, I'm pretty sure everyone has heard of or seen the TV show Full House, that classic happy-go-lucky show airing from the 80s to the 90s. Like, what's the range there, bud? Or even as the show with Bob Saget and John Stamos. Anyway, I was surfing on the Pirate Day on day.
Wait, what?
Pirate Bay.
On day.
On day. Yeah.
Does anyone
Looking
still...
for things like... What?
Sorry, I was going to say, does anyone still even use Pirate Bay? Like...
No, apparently it's a bad torrenting site these days.
I used to use it like 10 years ago.
So the FBI watching this, I don't torrent anything, but I definitely wouldn't use Pirate Bay if I did. Looking for things like music, games, torrents, etc. Isn't it all torrents there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all torrents there.
That's...
Does
the author even know what a torrent is?
Just any other torrents, you know.
But that's not important. I don't know, the legal departments probably think it is. What you're doing is wrong. It's illegal, bud. So when I was about done looking around on the site, I seen a few television series and it caught my attention. So I looked at a few TV series. They were nothing but shows like SpongeBob and Family Guy. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's bad.
Remember the time I torrented Full House and it broke my mind? So I ignored the others until I came upon the Full House series.
It's a giraffe.
I remember being young and watching the show every day before I went to school. Did someone say something?
It's a giraffe. Like you saw Full House and it's like, it's a giraffe!
Like in SpongeBob, like in that other show that he mentioned.
Yeah, of course.
With a small smile on my face, one small smile, I clicked the page. Then, a page opened up showing every episode from every season. But there was only one episode that caught my eye. One peculiar and different episode. The title of the episode was... ?
That's certainly not predictable.
Yeah, I wouldn't predict it. I never heard of this episode. Let alone, did I even know it existed?
Or perhaps the person who uploaded it didn't know which episode it was and just said, fuck it, I put a ? as the name.
Yeah, if I ever start torrenting episodes, I'm just gonna go online and put a bunch of episodes on called deleted episode, so people think it's special, and then they download and they realize it's nothing. And I'll only do that for my own enjoyment. Obviously, I wouldn't get anything out of that otherwise. Just ruining people's lives and hoping to give them creepypasta moments. After all of this happened to you? What do you mean happened to you? You're just looking at
the smile
shit.
on my face after I smiled.
Yeah, the one small smile. Much more significant than we thought.
Yeah, he's arguing in court. I was much a victim of the Pirate Bay as the copyright holders I ripped off.
I'm the victim here. I did lots of research. Apparently, the creator of the show, Jeff Franklin, wanted to end the series early, since there were not many views because the show was just not that popular like all the others were. I mean, wasn't it relatively popular?
Yeah, that sounds like...
I mean, wasn't the show beloved?
That sounds like someone who doesn't know that didn't grow up in the era talking like a lot of crap. You know?
Yeah, like if the show wasn't being watched by a lot of people, they would cancel it. They wouldn't just. That's how TV works. But whatever.
This is how capitalism works, my dear friends.
Yeah. So Jeff decided that he would make a final episode, a way to end the series with a bang. So they actually did do this episode. They just didn't air it. Anyways, I clicked on the download, and when it was finished, I opened it.
So why wouldn't it just be the last episode, series finale?
Because the network execs didn't want it to be the last episode, apparently. This doesn't make any sense.
It's got to be better than one of the Olsen twins losing their memory, and then the Olsen twins talking to each other, saying, "There you are, my memory. I was wondering where you were. I didn't remember you."
Yeah. There were they had so many excuses in that show to put both twins on screen. They just wanted to have them both on screen like once a season.
Nah, that makes sense.
I mean, obviously it was an in-joke. I don't know if anyone really paid attention to the cast list the Olsen twins weren't really anyone special back then, until You Got It Dude and shit, you know? The show started up normally playing the cheery Everywhere You Look theme. It brought a smile to my face as I was reminiscing my early childhood, and the screen then faded to black for a few seconds, and that is where the show began. So, like normal. That doesn't seem that weird. I guess a few seconds, but whatever.
At least it wasn't a few minutes. It was like, like the screen was there for like 5 minutes. Like, this was a bit unusual, but I started to charge on anyway.
I watched for 5 minutes until something changed. That's usually how these stories go. They just stare at blank screens forever. Joey and Jesse were setting up banners and blowing up balloons for Michelle's birthday party. DJ and Stephanie then came running in the room, Stephanie telling everyone about a couple of childish games she came up with so that they could play at the party. Joey then told them to be ready to surprise Michelle as she walks in. All of the sudden, okay, I guess that's, is it all of a sudden or all of the sudden?
All of the sudden. It's all of a sudden in real life.
I think it is all of a sudden in real life. Yeah, that's a mistake. There was a ringing of the doorbell, so everyone turned off the lights and hid behind the furniture. Danny and Michelle then walked in and everyone yelled, "Surprise!" A cute little smile rose above Michelle's little cheeks. Wait. I thought your mouth is on the sides of your cheeks.
The horror begins.
Yeah, Jesus. Like, her mouth rose above her nose. That is terrifying.
I thought this was a little unusual, but I decided to press on it anyway.
Yeah. The Full House body horror story. They then decided to invite all of Michelle's friends over for cake, presents, and games. So they invited them after the surprise happened. I think that they're just making this up as they go.
I thought this was unusual, but I decided to watch anyway.
Yeah, weird Michelle body horror, and yeah. They then headed outside. When they went outside, the camera shook a little, and there was no sound, almost as if it was paused. It then cut to the scene outside, but this is where things got weird.
I thought this was a bit unusual. Okay,
It was weird already, but okay. Michelle and her friends were around a picnic table. They were talking about random small things until a gust of wind blew off Michelle's birthday hat from the table. Michelle started chasing it, the wind blowing it further and further every time she tried to grab it until it landed in the middle of the road. Michelle then stood there putting the hat on, unaware. Huh?
That's not weird. I don't know if you ever took some paper trash out and wanted to throw it away, and one thing fell besides the container, and then you have to chase this fucking thing because every time you're about to grab it, it gets away even further. So that's not
I think we all can relate to that. Right?
Listen, this is just normal sitcom par for the course stuff. So of course it's gonna happen due to the laws of storytelling. You know?
Yeah. The weird part is running into San Francisco traffic for a paper hat, you know? Michelle then stood up there, putting on a hat, unaware of the oncoming car. Joey, Jesse, and Danny were yelling and chasing to rescue Michelle, telling her to get out of the road. Then there was a swerving and crashing noise. It didn't show what happened, but the horrified look on everyone's face pretty much gave away what happened. The camera then shook violently and cut to a picture of Michelle for a few seconds, and then cut back. This is where the next scene began.
I thought this was unusual.
So Michelle ran into traffic and people were shouting. So were they shouting Jason? This was all just some sick, heavy rain reference.
It could be. For all we know.
Can we get a Full House version of Heavy Rain, please? It showed Danny... Sorry, the next scene began. It showed Danny, Joey, Jesse, DJ, and Stephanie at a funeral. They all had blank, emotionless looks on their face. There's the creepypasta shit. There was no sound. Danny then started softly sobbing to himself, as well as Stephanie and DJ, Joey, and Jesse comforted both Danny and the children. Danny then looked at them and told them about how the accident was all his fault. Joey and Jesse angrily protested with tears, telling them it wasn't his fault, but theirs.
There was no sound, though.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess if there was no sound, all their yelling wouldn't have reached Michelle anyway, right?
The creepypasta is that there was no sound. Everyone went deaf.
It didn't say the sound came back. It just said that there was no sound, and apparently there was sound, and there wasn't.
The producers muted the world like that one Click movie.
Then there was no sound again. Oh, there it is. Okay, no sound again. But all it showed was everyone staring at the camera with the same blank stare for a few seconds until it cut to static. The next scene began to play. That is really creepy if the cast of Full House did that. Danny was in his room, all alone, sobbing. He then looked up with a blank stare and walked over to a record player where he proceeded to play the song Crying by Roy Orbison. He then walked over to the closet and pulled out a noose. While he also spoke to the noose saying, "Hello, old friend, looks like I need you more than ever now."
And then canned laughter started playing.
That's actually funny. Yeah.
Listen. If it weren't for creepypasta, this would sound like any. This would be like any other is this a dark moment in a sitcom? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You might think this is messed up for a sitcom, but keep in mind they killed off the dinosaurs at the end of the Dinosaurs sitcom, or at least it's implied that they all died.
Yep.
Which is pretty messed up. That actually happened too. So
it's canon. It's real life.
Yeah. Danny then hung himself, and his body was swaying back and forth for a minute. Wow, that's a minute is a long time to focus on that shot. The camera zooming in on his body swinging. The scene then cut to a pause, and the next scene began. It was Jesse. He was getting on his motorcycle with no helmet or protective gear. He then started up the bike and headed down the street. It then cut to Jesse riding his bike in the city. There was no sound, but I could see him mouthing the words, "Why?" Jesse then stomped on the gas pedal and the screen quickly went blank. It was later revealed that he committed suicide by slamming his brake into an oncoming semi-truck. Oh, just like Sons of Anarchy. Nice.
Yeah, don't motorcycles usually not have gas pedals and you operate them with your hands, not your feet?
Yeah, but do you think the author was aware of that?
That's certainly not predictable. I wouldn't predict that. A motorcycle with a gas pedal.
Yeah. The next scene then began to play. The scene showed Joey. He was in tears while packing up a few of his puppets into a box. He then picked up a Popeye doll and impersonated his voice saying, "It's all your fault, Joey. No one else but you." Yeah, I can't do Popeye's voice. Sue me. And gave a Popeye chuckle. He then reached into the box and pulled out a pistol. There he proceeded to hold it up to his head and stare blankly at the screen. A still image of Michelle then came onto the screen, but I could hear Joey sobbing and whispering something to himself that I couldn't understand.
No sound.
I then heard a gunshot and a thud, and this is where the next scene quickly came up. Yeah?
Yeah, first off, you couldn't understand them because there was no sound. Second off, this is a boring creepypasta. One kid died, and now everyone's killing themselves.
Everyone's killing themselves in thematic ways. Jesse was on his bike, Joey had his puppets, and Danny, I guess, was a member of the KKK.
It's too dry. Yeah. Where's the paranormal shit? Where is the hyper-realistic gore?
I think after the episode ends, the narrator will kill himself.
I'm the narrator. That's the problem. I'm the one reading the story.
And the scariest thing of all was narrated was you, and then you killed yourself.
God damn it. You guys are... Good job, guys. You know I have a wife and kid, right? You know how messed up this is. It was DJ on her bed sobbing. I could hear an audible crying from a baby, but I don't know why. From this point, there was no longer any sound in the Wait, what are you talking about? I guess, was it before the sound went out?
Yeah,
or?
We were joking the whole time about there being no sound, but the sound keeps going back on unless it says no.
Yeah,
there's
the
no
author
sound.
can't remember if there's sound or not.
Yeah, I think it's like unless it's mentioned explicitly that there's no sound. I think it's just normal audio. We've been messing around for a bit, so it's fair. I think we're losing track.
Yeah, just a low humming noise. DJ ran into the bathroom and started running the bath, where she then grabbed a razor from the medicine cabinet and got into the bath. No nudity was shown. I mean, I would assume if this was supposed to be airing on TV, I guess they could show a guy hanging himself, but they can't show nudity,
Of course.
And no shown, but there was nothing but static for a few seconds until it came back on and showed DJ in the bathtub lying lifeless and staring at the camera. The camera then zoomed in on her face, shaking around a little, and then faded to black. The final scene began to play. I guess this also inspired the Hunger Games movie with all the shaking cameras.
The final scene was the husband walking in, seeing that she'd wrote it in her own blood, and then just going, ah!
Yeah, I'm glad there is no nudity in the bathtub suicide scene, because the book Mouse actually did get banned from a school library because there was a suicide depicted of a naked woman in a bathtub, and yeah. So one very important book about the Holocaust just got removed from a school library because, oh no, a sad image is nude.
Well, come on, we also know the real reason why it was banned.
I'm sorry. I couldn't tell if it was a joke or not.
Yeah, that did happen. It was Stephanie. She was walking around the house wiping tears from her face and knocked on the bathroom door. She guessed that since there was no response, then no one was in the bathroom. She then opened the door, in the present tense, and began screaming and crying. So she ran to her bedroom window, opened it up, and jumped out, killing herself.
I was joking when I made my my It reference joke.
John, did you write this story?
I mean, it could be possible. Audience, do you think I wrote the story?
That'd be a twist if I pick 3 stories, write one of my own, then find out one of them was also written by one of you guys. That would be hilarious.
What a twist!
Actually, I exited the window and got. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. Yeah, okay. The show ended there. No credits played, and the humming noise began to a slight beeping noise. I exited the window and got rid of the file. I'm not sure if the episode is still on the Pirate Bay, but I'm positive that there are other torrents for it. And with the information that I told you that I found out earlier, I found another quite interesting thing. Apparently, others have seen the episode too and questioned the people on the show about it. Rumor has it that Jeff Franklin threatened and blackmailed many of the cast members and told them never to talk about the episode to anyone.
Many of them. You couldn't find one cast...
Yeah, he threatened and blackmailed them with this small little thing called a non-disclosure agreement. What a fucking blackmailer.
Joaquin, were you going to say something?
No, it just said Jeff, and I don't know, I randomly just said Jeff the Killer.
Jeff the Killer.
This is Jeff the Killer. This is the Jeff the Killer's secret backstory. He
also wrote Full House.
Yeah, Jeff the Killer wrote Full House.
Yeah, he wrote Full House. Then he became born, and then his face got burned with bleach. And then he's like, "Smile, we're watching Full House."
So Jeff just continued the series until 1995 when Full House finally ended. I'm not exactly sure why anyone would come up with such a morbid way to end such a nice television show. Again, dinosaurs. If any of you are able to see the episode, I wouldn't recommend uploading the episode to YouTube. It will most likely be taken down. Same goes for Google. If you try to upload pictures like I did, they will be removed, even though I'm not sure why. Probably because, if there was dead people, I don't know. I guess everything has their secrets.
Yeah,
Wow.
if you can't upload it to Google, because of that, that's why you upload to Bing.
You go to
yeah.
you go to Yahoo. DuckDuckGo even.
Yeah.
Maybe even
I guess everything.
Yandex.
Huh?
No one ever goes to Yandex.
If this is being removed off Google, it's obviously already on the dark web, So, I guess everything has their secrets, even the happiest of things, like a simple 90s sitcom. Okay.
Oh, what? These two endings are boring. Where's the? This? I will never forget this. It's just like, just a bunch of farts of an ending where it's like, oh well.
It would be better if he was like, then I turned around, and there was Jeff.
The killer.
There was Jeff Franklin smiling.
Jeff Franklin the killer.
I am going to Jeff will kill you.
It's going to be an empty house now.
The Goofy movie story we read, it actually just ended him with him watching the real movie because he was so dissatisfied. So, not all creepypastas have a morbid ending, I guess.
Gorsh.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
in the end of that one, what was it? The character, the narrator turned around, and then there was Goofy, and then he just said, Gorsh.
He was smiling.
Okay. This next one is called Paper Mario, Director's Cut, another unknown author.
Oh, trust me, Paper Mario doesn't need a creepypasta. The real creepypasta was that, after the 3D one for the Wii, it was all every fucking entry afterwards was trying to do the tongue-in-cheek thing. Oh, look, it's paper. It's a paper world. And
yeah.
That's
they lost the plot a long time ago, unfortunately.
You can have a cute joke about it, but having sticker star and I tried and the Origami King. I'm sad that I bought those and I didn't pick them up again because they were just not very good. Not very good games.
Yeah, for any of our younger viewers who've never played Paper Mario before, Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door, and Super Paper Mario are all great games. Everything else you could skip. That's the DLDR recommendation. So,
Growing up,
Clemens, I believe this one is yours.
Growing up in the 2000s, I loved playing games on my GameCube. Because unlike the PS5, GameCube has games.
And it's a cube.
and it comes with a disk drive.
Yeah.
By default.
It was time to be alive, I tell you that.
Super Smash Bros. Melee, Animal Crossing, and Wind Waker were my favorite games. But I also really loved Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door. I remember playing the original Paper Mario on my older cousin's N64, but the one on the GameCube was better. I loved the battles and all the characters. But when I tried to play the game again last year, it was too scratched up to play. I was sad about it, and used copies of the game cost too much money.
He didn't go to Pirate Bay because he saw one story about a dude who watched Full House one time.
Yeah. It is really hard to find good GameCube games these days if you trying to look for one of the older ones.
Yeah.
So, I feel that. I feel that all too well.
But last week I found a copy at the local used game store. It was really cheap too, only $12.98. At first I thought it must have been a mistake, but when I saw the title of the game was Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door Director's Cut. I never knew this game had a Director's Cut edition. And why was it so cheap? I brought the game to the owner and he didn't know what, saying that it was brought in by a skinny guy who looked all strung out and happy to get rid of it.
He was
Glad to get that off my hands.
The weird thing is he was in a suit. I didn't make much of his face. He's like, and just plopped it down and walked out.
Yeah, you see with if you buy your used games online, you don't get the story, but if you go to the local used game store, they have a story behind every game they have on their shelf.
Like when the rake came in and gave...
Yeah. Shout out to all the mom and pop game stores that are still standing. You guys are the true winners here.
For sure.
But I didn't care. I wanted to play one of my favorite games and I bought it. I brought it home and put it into my GameCube. The game started up like normal and I played it for 6 hours straight. It was great, but I didn't know what was so special about this game that it was a director's cut. It was all the same, but I didn't care. Eventually, I reached the 4th chapter for Pix the Bell Tolls. I love this game, but hate this chapter. Even for my favorite partner, Vivian joins this chapter. I hate all the backtracking after Mario loses his body, and I thought it was really dumb how Mario's other partners were stupid enough to believe that Dupliss was Mario. But I kept playing because Chapter 5, the pirate chapter, was really cool.
That whole paragraph is very truthful to anyone who's ever played this game.
Honestly, kinda, yeah. Fair enough.
Anyway, I got to the part where Mario and Vivian beat Dupliss, and that's when everything changed. Mario's partners apologized to him, and when Mario said, "You fucking assholes! I'll make you pay for what you did."
You a fucking
Mamma
assholes!
mia.
This does not, Mamma Mia!
You're severely screwed up.
I mean, you already beat them into submission. Why would you do that? Why would you hit them again?
Mario, keep in mind, back in the old games, Mario would bonk Yoshi on the head to make him stick his tongue out. Mario has always been a dickhead. Mario also trapped Donkey Kong in a cage. That's why Donkey Kong took his revenge.
That was his father. That was actually expanded. That was just...
It was still a creature he had locked up in a cage.
No, his father did that.
Oh, Mario's father? Really? Never mind that.
I think so. I need to double check the game theory timeline. I don't know.
It's like if you go back and watch Steamboat Willie with Mickey Mouse, the first Mickey Mouse cartoon. Mickey Mouse is a giant prick in that cartoon.
Hey, we should rip that. The copyright is expired.
we can do that too, yeah. You can't stop us, Disney. We know our rights.
The weird thing about that episode was that it was all hyper realistic and the blood was red.
The blood was red.
That took me by surprise because aside from grunts and yelps of pain, Mario doesn't talk in this game. But Tim swearing was really weird because people usually don't swear in Nintendo games.
The weird thing is Mario also doesn't talk, but I thought this was unusual.
Yeah, they only swear in Sega games because Genesis does what Nintendo doesn't.
What Nintendo don't.
No, it works. It works.
Yeah, I like how, I love how in, the Sonic the Hedgehog games, once you beat up Eggman, Sonic says, "Fuck you, motherfucker," and runs off. That's the best part of the game. That was so edgy back when I was a kid. That, Sonic was really cool for that reason.
He looked directly into the camera and said, "On September 11th, 2001.
Sonic did.
Sonic looked at Dr. Fatfuck, as it says, and he went, "You think that's bad?"
Oh no. So Sonic also... not only was Sonic an edgy badass, but he also predicted Family Guy in 9/11. That sounds right.
Yeah, exactly. You get it.
This must have been part of a director's cut, but it still seemed weird. The Dupliss battle music played again, but slower. Mario then stomped over to Goombella the Goomba and jumped on her head, his butt smashing into her.
Damn.
How did he jump if it...
The ground pound.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, ground pound.
Ah, okay. She was killed instantly as realistic-looking blood sprayed from her body as she was pulverized.
Yes,
Whoa,
finally!
Dude, his dummy thick dumb chuck totally killed her.
We got the realistic blood I was looking for. Hooray!
Yeah, and we know at least one of our viewers is just imagining Goombella and saying, God, I wish that were me.
Oh god.
I know who you are, that specific one viewer. Don't hide from me. But don't say it in the comments. Do not disturb the other viewers. Everybody else in the room screamed, but Mario didn't stop. He jumped on the Koopa's head next and knocked him on his back.
Wait a minute, I think I heard of this director's cut before. In the director's cut, Koops was, you know how the character Spiders, man? A collective of spiders that believe they're Peter Parker? This is a collection of Koopas.
Yes, I know about that.
Yeah, this is a collection of Koopas that believe they're Koops.
Whoa. Trippy.
I figured, oh yeah, I remember that now.
Then he took out his hammer and smashed his shell in, killing Koops as more blood sprayed. Then he swung his hammer at Flowey the ghost. I didn't think he could kill a ghost, but like the other two, he beat her to a bloody pulp. No, Gonzales, don't kill me, the baby Yoshi said, but Mario smacked him with his hammer next and crushed him many times.
Because he's like the Raiders in the first story. You gotta make sure he's dead. You gotta crush him multiple times.
I couldn't believe it. I thought Mario's partners were idiots for thinking Duplis was him, but I didn't think they deserved to die. By now, Vivian was crying after seeing Mario murder his friends. Mario looked at her and screamed, "They deserved it!" But Vivian didn't stop crying. You'll just betray me too, like a DLDR's betrayal of 2010
Yeah, please watch and comment on all our videos. We would appreciate it.
Funny,
and not just because of, algorithm reasons.
It's funny you mention this, funnily enough. I remember seeing like a playthrough with someone on the dark web, and this is the moment where he takes off his fatsuit and reveals that he's been Ash the whole time.
Whoa.
That's why he could. That's why he survived this whole thing. He's Ash. He's God.
Mario yelled angrily before beating her to death with his hammer next. When he was done, Mario, who was covered in blood, turned to the screen and gave his thumbs up pose that he does when he wins a fight and the music that plays when you win a fight played. But the key was changed and it sounded scary.
Ooh.
And then he ran at the screen and swung his hammer, causing me to flinch. But when the hammer hit the screen, the game shut off. I was stunned. I restarted the game, but it loaded up where Mario killed his friends again. I was disgusted and turned the game off. I wanted to take the game back to the store, but I didn't. I didn't want anyone else to play this. So I locked the game in the safe under my bed so nobody would play it again.
Do you really have to put it in the safe? You can just not play it.
Or better yet,
it's like the Ring in Lord of the Rings, right? I mean, you know it's bad, but you kind of want to hold on to it.
It's like, listen. This is the common trope. Every time someone puts it in a safe, the law of storytelling tells us that eventually someone's going to open it and unleash it onto the world. I would have gone to a church, or God, or somebody to bless this, to fix it, or if not, burn it. Send it to the.
Yeah, good thing that priests are also programmers who know how to fix a GameCube disc.
No. They would just. Yeah, exactly. They have the whole fixing kits. It's holy because it's holy disc cleaner.
Yeah.
My buddy, his brother's a priest. I'll have to ask him if he knows how to fix cursed GameCube games.
I regularly wash my PC with holy water so it stays pure.
Nice.
I mean, considering what we do, that's probably a good idea. All right. The final story. This is a regular show story called regular show banned episode by Vinny Q Shuichiko.
Honestly, I remember regular show going, growing up. It was crazy. So this has got to do something pretty heinous for it to be a banned episode.
Yeah, the regular show was great, but it was wild.
You know who else banned an episode? My Uncle John. He's a producer.
Damn.
You know, what do you say? What do you say, Joaquin?
Nothing.
He said, "Damn."
Yeah,
I think.
I was also gonna say, because there were episodes in regular show where people got killed. I think Skips literally murdered Rigby in an episode. So yeah, you got to go really hard to get banned.
Yeah. They literally opened up a portal to hell because Gary Bob Ferguson Jr. wanted to bring back his father to win his approval. Oh, we got an author this time around by Vinny Shurio. Vinny, how do you pronounce that?
It's unknowable how to pronounce it, just like the unknowable beauty of that is the story that we're reading.
Is this the big story because it has an author? Is it? Audience, do you think so? Or am I just talking shit?
Is this actually my author name when I'm writing bad troll pastas?
Was this my secret plan? Was this Joaquin's secret plan? Joaquin, was it your plan? Legally, you have to tell us.
Wait, what?
Never mind.
No, I stepped away for a second.
No, we were going to ask you if this was the story that you wrote that I unknowingly picked, and then suddenly, this is the story that... Did Adam write this? No, it was Joaquin. That's the twist.
No.
Dang.
Alright.
Oh, whatevs. I was 7 years old when this happened, and I was scared for my life since that happened.
I was scared for life. Not scarred for life. Scared for life. That's even worse, maybe.
Honestly, yeah. One day, me and my family were at a video store looking for some cool movies.
Man, you guys remember video stores?
Yes. They were great.
I miss going to Blockbuster, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, actually funny. Yeah, we all fell for the Netflix Trojan horse hook, line, and sinker. And for those of you who don't know,
can't wait for the DLDR meetup where we all hang out in the abandoned Blockbuster.
but for real, on a real note, Netflix's business model literally leaked out, when it was being leaked about talking to private investors, it was supposed to disrupt the TV industry as a general thing. That's why a lot of the streaming services are losing money. It made the other studios panic, and now we got 1 billion streaming services.
Yeah. Good job, Netflix. You ruined culture.
Hey, don't blame Netflix. We all bought into it. We're all to blame here. Did. But yeah, seriously, screw Wall Street.
Yeah, I would also. Oh, never mind.
No, go on.
And I was gonna say, I wonder, what would regular, a physical copy of regular show be doing at, I don't know, Blockbuster.
I don't know.
But then I remember I just read ahead
that'd do it.
Yeah.
There were a few movie rental places where I lived a few years back, but they all closed up since. But I mean, movie rental places were hanging in there for a little bit. So they could have totally been a regular show DVD at one of them. But yeah.
Okay. Then I saw someone that looked like an intern, and for some reason that looked is marked as a misspelling on the doc we're using.
Yeah, I mean that's we're showing this from my computer. They have all sorts of recommendations from Grammarly and shit. So
I see. He was sad, and every time a person walked by him, he would beg for the person to buy the tape he had. Weird. And I'm kind of disappointed there's no tongue-in-cheek joke where it's like, I watch Planetside Chasers Excellent all day, every day.
It is creepy when you're at a movie rental place and someone's asking you to buy the movie from them.
I want to sell this tape all day, every day.
Johnny, you're supposed to rent the movies, not sell them. You're ruining our business model.
I asked my parents if I could talk to him. They said yes, because they're bad parents. And I just
Wow.
Yeah, go to the weird
I talked to this strange guy in the store who's asking everyone to buy his tape.
Go to the sad begging man, sweetie.
And he's like, I don't give a shit.
Please watch this tape of my wife and I having sex. It's part of our kink.
And I just went to talk to the guy. I said I would like the tape. I asked what the price was. He said, just take it.
Bad sign. Bad sign. He was asking the other people to buy it. Now he's telling this kid just to take it.
What if it's like, instead it's like, you put in the tape and it's just a troll face the entire time?
I watched the troll face for 15 minutes.
I thought it was unusual when I pressed on.
I've read the story once on a site that is known for fake stories, so it's very possible that it never happened, but some guy got a DVD for his birthday and didn't come around to watch it, and then one evening he was bored and he found this DVD and was like, let's watch this movie, and then it turned out to be a Rickroll that was delayed like 7 years.
That was amazing.
Yeah, but like I said, good chance that it never happened.
Oh, whatever. I saw a piece of adhesive tape with Mordecai the Murderer. Mordecai, then just to be clear, they're saying that Mordecai the Murderer was with the tape. That's because of how,
Yeah, I mean, it was on adhesive tape, but take the tape. Yeah, it was also on VHS. That's really weird. Please buy my VHS. I know it's an outdated format.
No, I'm saying
please buy it.
What I'm saying is, because it didn't say the adhesive tape said Mordecai the Murderer, I'm saying to you that Mordecai the Murderer is just chilling out on the tape as we speak.
Oh, jeez, that's even worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Bringing that weird Blue Jay guy home with you, you know?
Yeah.
Need more murder, need more Starla.
There was this really creepy experience. I was reading Creepypasta with some friends, and then I turned around and behind me was Adam, and he was saying, please buy my HD DVD.
Now that's a red flag if ever there was one.
Yeah, and then when you asked me how much, I gave it to you for free.
Yeah, and now I'm scouring eBay for any HD DVD players.
I thought that name was weird, but I knew it was regular show. Somehow. When asked my parents, and yes, I said because it wasn't capitalized, they said could take it but not watch it, for some reason. Since regular show was inappropriate cartoon, and I wasn't old enough to watch it, which is why they let me take the tape.
Yeah, that's weird they let you take it, but they won't let you watch it. I mean, regular show really was a college show, a show for college students that was disguised to be, like, for young teenagers, you know? But it's where you can buy that, honey, where you just can't watch it for another, like, 6 years.
Yeah, you don't remember going to the shop with your parents and be like, Mom, I want the new Call of Duty. Okay, I'll buy it for you, but you can only play it once you turn 18.
Yeah, and by then the servers were all down, and I don't know what the lesson was supposed to be there. What was he trying to teach me?
Don't trust her?
Yeah. Is that why I have issues?
Yeah, I wasted
hey,
my
Mom,
money.
If you're watching this video,
I
love you.
Yeah.
What do you say, Joaquin?
I was going to say she wasted her money just to teach you a shitty lesson. That was kind of pointless.
Yeah, I mean, parents work in mysterious ways.
One night, my parents were on their honeymoon. Now, this could either mean they weren't married until now, and in which case I'm not going to judge their lifestyle, or they're going on something called a honeymoon.
Yeah, and they left their 7-year-old child by themselves, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Great parenting. I'm going to buy this thing that you can't watch for another 6 years, then I'm going to leave you alone in the house while I go off to fuck your dad.
I mean, they did also let their kid talk to, like, a complete stranger handing out his tape at the store.
Yeah,
might as well
parents
just
kind of suck.
Yeah, I imagine there will also if someone comes knocking on the door, I guess you can open it. I don't give a shit.
God, the movie Home Alone would be a lot different if Kevin McAllister just let the Wet Bandits in.
Yeah. I gotta write my alternate universe fan fiction now where Kevin is just very compliant with everything.
And they wouldn't come back until midnight. In the middle of the night. Which would be 2 a.m. for some reason. That's what I understand about math and averages. While they were out, I grabbed the tape and bought it. And a tape I bought in the store for $0 and put it in our VHS player. I don't think this is the point where hipsterism really took effect, unless this guy was just was a really early hipster and it's like, regular show belongs on a VHS tape because that's when the show takes place or something.
Yeah, I mean, they really went all out for the bit, so yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The title of the show came up, but it didn't have the normal music sound effect on in the background. It was just static. There was no volume. There was no sound. When the episode's name came up, there was actual static, but it was red and loud. The episode started like normal. Mordecai and Rigby were watching TV until an ad came on their TV. It was all about a free-for-all race. They went to sign up.
What?
Okay, I guess they're going to a race now. It makes sense for an average regular show episode.
Yeah, I'm sure these two stoners really want to go run.
Unless
sounds so much like them.
They thought they were going to be doing their wacky races. A few scenes after, everyone began running except for Rigby. Wait, I skipped. They went to sign up to the race and were surprised that everyone else from the park and Margaret had already signed up. Both of you sign up for the race or you're fired!
Yeah, that would have been a more appropriate beginning to this episode. This episode doesn't seem to make sense so far. Just like the rest of the story, it doesn't make sense so far.
But again, regular show doesn't really tend to bow to sense sometimes.
But it still makes more sense than this.
Well, it's...
The show with the ducks that transform into robots makes more sense than this.
They transform into a giant man with the duck-headed pants. It was Mordecai and Rigby.
There's eventually some sort of robot duck,
though, Mordecai
right?
and Rigby combined with their fist bump, their gameplay machine, and a bunch of other stuff. So it became...
Yeah, regular show
It was robot armor that happened, not that they were robot ducks.
Yeah, okay, well, keep going.
A few scenes after, everyone began running, except for Rigby, who still thinks they were doing the wacky racist thing.
I mean, it's a free-for-all, so I guess it is kind of wacky.
Yeah. The camera quickly zoomed into Rigby's face, and he laughed. I thought he would try to cheat, considering he has such a childish I-must-win behavior. Right before the race started, Rigby tied Mordecai's shoelaces together, which is odd because Mordecai doesn't wear shoes.
Yeah, that's really weird. They didn't say that they got put on 80s workout clothes. At least that would have been fitting with the scene. But yeah, keep going.
So he would fall. I just said, I knew he would cheat. Then everyone started to run, but Mordecai was just in the floor.
Holy clipped. Damn.
Again, this sounds like this sounds like pretty much standard regular show fare.
Yeah.
Of course Mordecai would just end up in the floor somehow. Because why not? The camera zoomed into Mordecai's face, and he got pupilless eyes, pupilless and red. He said, I'll get my revenge. Need more revenge. Need more Margaret.
Gross.
Sorry. It skipped to night time. Mordecai got up and went to the kitchen. He walked around the kitchen for a while, in the kitchen, as if he was looking for something. He eventually found a big meat knife, and went back to the bedroom. For a while, there was a FP, first person, from Mordecai's view. Why didn't just say first person? I don't know.
Because, who knows?
And then it switched to Rigby's view. Rigby then screamed, and the screen went to black. When it came back, what it showed was really creepy. It showed Mordecai kicking slices of Rigby's corpse and laughing a demonic voice. He said, This is what you get for cheating, Rigby.
That's not creepy, that's horrifying. Creepy is supposed to make you uncomfortable. That's morbid. Jeez.
Mordecai then walked to Skip's house. Again, it went to Mordecai's view, and he kept getting closer to Skip's. When Mordecai walked, Skip's kept shouting fearfully, "No!" But Mordecai got very close to Skip's. Skip's just screamed in agony and dropped to the ground with a hole in his belly. Why, Mordecai, why are you continuing to murder? Rigby is already dead. And why? And
because because he's taking his revenge on everyone. No one helped him. Also, just
kill the
Well, apparently, maybe this was like the beta for the Mordecai murder video game.
Mordecai murder
that keeps going to first person.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Why kill the man that's been single-handedly solving your weird shenanigans every week?
Well, he didn't solve the race shenanigans, so he's gotta die.
Why? You want me to solve every one of your problems, Mordecai?
Yeah, apparently.
Mordecai then went to Benson's apartment. Mordecai opened the door, and Benson screamed in fear, Mordecai, don't kill me or you're fired! I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he probably would say that.
The camera then switched to the floor, and Benson's head fell on the floor and broke. Gumball flew all around the floor. Then Mordecai went to Margaret's apartment. Need more murder. I'm just imagining that. Need more Margaret in his weird murder stupor. And he sliced her neck with a knife. The screen went black and showed Mordecai walking out. Before he went to the door, he looked back and said, "This is for humiliating me, jerk. I guess Mordecai, a Rigby squeeze is not important enough to get murdered. I guess."
Yeah. So it wasn't even mentioned at all, so, She didn't go to the race. Everyone at the race got killed. Or is getting killed.
You know who else humiliated me? My mom!
I mean, that's what happens next, so...
Yeah. And he then went to Muscle Man's trailer and simply set it on fire and walked away. Really?
Oh, God.
I gotta add this stuff in.
Yeah.
I've had my revenge. The screen went black. The episode ended and the film reel came out of the tape and burned.
Whoa!
This sounds like a regular show plot. Just watch it.
But the tape actually burned. Like, the tape itself burned after the end.
Yeah.
So this was some actual demonic shit.
After that, I never watched regular show again.
I mean, fair.
You know who also
he was
never
scared for life.
You know who also never watched the regular show again?
Who?
My mom.
Okay, we're done with that.
All right, guys. So those are the stories, and now the question is, which of these stories was written by me, and which ones were written by random people on the internet? Can you guess?
So
Clemens, you're up first.
They all have this theme in common where they just have such a nothing ending, so I can't pinpoint you over the ending.
I was going to say that also.
Yeah. The Full House episode was just edge off. That seems a bit over the top.
Me personally. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yeah. You can wait your turn, John. Fallout 3 name drops a lot of people, but that could be intentional or unintentionally bad. I'm not sure about that, but what sticks out to me was the Paper Mario one, because it actually shows some love for the franchise or the game it's about.
Well, that's it for me. I'm stuck in like a Death Note double bind situation where it's like basically, sorry, burped. It could be that like it's either gonna be the boring ones, or it's gonna have the exciting things that I wanted for. It could be like if I write it weird boring where nothing of consequence happens, it'll be washed over. Or it could be, I'll put in everything. The gore, the weird murder for no reason, all the dumb stuff happening. It could be either of those two, frankly. It's practically.
You have to pick one though, John.
I don't know.
Well, we'll come back to you, Joaquin. Which one do you think it is?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of torn between either the Full House one or Paper Mario.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Paper Mario one because honestly, it could have been a weird setup where it's like I'll put something exciting in, just to just. Actually, no. I think it's a regular show one. The I think the order of what you did was you set me up, knocked me down, and then tacked it on at the end so I wouldn't detect it. So I'm gonna say regular show.
Okay. And
I was gonna say, and the reason, I don't know, I'm torn because, Full House, who the hell would actually seriously write a creepypasta about Full House? But also, there's
maybe I would.
But there's also where it mentions literally oranging a lady and killing a baby, and I was like, well, Adam wouldn't write that.
You don't know me, Joaquin.
I don't know if you did write that. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna say, man, I'm gonna look at you differently now.
I mean, I'm trying to imitate something who knows, but okay. What do you think it is then?
Fuck it. Full House.
Okay. So Clemens, you say Paper Mario.
Yeah.
John, you said regular show, and Joaquin said Full House. Those are our answers?
Yeah.
Yep, final answer.
Yeah, and viewer, this is your chance to log in your final answer in the comments.
Oh, yeah. And the answer is, well, at the end of the day, Clemens, you're right. My love for Paper Mario did show through in the story I
wrote. Dang it.
And yeah, I did try to keep these stories actually kind of similar when I was looking for them, because not only just the nothing endings, but it's kind of a similar style of writing. The Full House one was really long. I'm like, oh, this one's kind of long. And you're right, Joaquin. I probably wouldn't have mentioned in my fake creepypasta story.
Orange. Remember Orange.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, bleep out what I just said. Orange. Yes. So, yeah, it was Paper Mario, but I did happen to really like the Fallout 3-1-2. Ironically like that one. So, yeah.
Dang it,
Which I had thought of it first.
I didn't know. I was.
Yeah. Also, the order I put these in were just alphabetical. That's how we read them.
I fell for it.
So,
I was on the money, and then I'm like, I chose B instead of C.
Yeah. Well, have you guys been spooked? Has this been a spooky Halloween episode for you?
Scary normie sending pigeons down my spine.
Yeah. And with it being Halloween today, you can expect the Christmas shit in the supermarket tomorrow.
Truly. Yeah. And also, if you go look up these stories, leave the people who wrote them alone, or else
you're fired.
We'll have to crucify you next.
Don't contact the authors or you're fired.
Otherwise, this will turn into a cursed episode of DLDR.
It's gotta be hyper realistic.
I might have to take the cursed Mario game out of my safe and leave it at one of your houses.
The donut will be bleeding or something.
You should check us out on Discord. We're a lot of fun. I sometimes stream Fallout games. So
yeah, but he uses speedrun glitches, and sometimes his game glitches out, and people get crucified. It's really weird.
Yeah, tune in for my New Vegas playthrough. Because there's lots of,
it's
lots
gonna be
of that.
Great.
Unironically, lots of that.
And remember, if you do not like, then do not read.
Ciao.
Goodbye.
Alright, peace out, everyone.